Let me ask you something a little uncomfortable. If someone offered you a job paying $100,000 a year, would you take it? No hesitation, right? Most of us would say yes in a heartbeat. Because in our culture, hitting six figures still feels like you've won the game. But here's the truth almost nobody wants to talk about. In today's economy, $100,000 isn't a finish line. For a lot of people, it's the point where their finances quietly start to break. There's this number that's been burned into our collective imagination since the 1990s. A number we treat like a golden idol, $100,000 a year. We're told that once you hit it, the struggle ends. Life gets easier. The stress just melts away, so you do what you're supposed to do. You go to college, you take on some debt, you grind through your 20s. All those late nights, missed weekends, and constant pressure. And then finally it happens, the promotion, the raise. 6 figures, you celebrate, you call your parents. You feel like you've officially arrived. Then, a few months later, you're sitting on your couch on a random Tuesday night, and something feels wrong. Your savings aren't growing. Your stress is actually higher. Your bank balance feels tighter than it did before. Despite earning more than ever, you feel more broke than when you were making $60,000. You're not going crazy. You've just walked straight into the six-figure trap. Welcome to the Financial Sketchpad, where we draw out the hidden math behind your everyday money decisions. Today, we breaking down why earning more money, especially crossing that six-figure threshold, often leads to less wealth, not more. The core of the problem is pretty simple. Our brains are anchored to a version of reality that doesn't exist anymore. Back in the mid-1990s, earning $100,000 really meant something. It put you near the top of the income ladder. But inflation has been quietly rewriting the rules of the game. Adjusted for inflation, that same $100,000 from the 90s is equivalent to over $200,000 today. That means earning $100K now gives you roughly the same purchasing power as someone making under $50,000 back then. On paper, you look successful. In reality, you're just running in place. We're still budgeting, spending, and upgrading our lives as if the old economy still exists, and we're reusing debt to fake it, and here's where it gets even worse. When you're a low-income earner, there are some safety nets. Things like tax credits, subsidies, and assistance programs. When you're very wealthy, you have access to loopholes. Capital gains advantages, depreciation, and sophisticated tax strategies. But what about the middle class? You pay full price for everything. You make too much to get any help, but not nearly enough to bend the rules in your favor. You are the system's cash cow. Let's talk about the raise that actually makes you poorer. Imagine you go from making $75,000 a year to $100,000. In your head, that's an extra $25,000. Over $2,000 a month. But here's what really happens. Your effective tax rate goes up. Certain deductions start to phase out. The student loan interest deduction might disappear. Childcare credits shrink or vanish completely. Your health insurance costs might rise. In some cases, earning an extra $10,000 can increase your expenses by more than the raise itself. You worked harder, and you ended up financially worse off. That's not just bad luck. That's the structure of the system. Now, let's add psychology to the mix. The moment you hit 6 figures, expectations change. You're not supposed to drive that old car anymore, are you? You're not supposed to live in that starter apartment. You're doing well now. So you upgrade. Not necessarily because you want to, but because the role seems to demand it. This isn't just lifestyle creep. It's a conformity tax. The middle class is the most aggressively targeted group in consumer capitalism. You have disposable income, but you also have a deep-seated insecurity. It's the perfect extraction zone for companies. And here's the real irony. Someone earning $60,000 a year usually knows they're on a tight budget. They rent modestly, they drive an older car. They keep their expenses in check. They might actually be able to save a little bit of money. Now look at someone earning $120,000. They suddenly qualify for a massive mortgage. They buy the big house the bank says they can afford. Then come all the hidden costs. Property taxes, maintenance, unexpected repairs, new furniture, HOA fees, add in the car payments, the kids' activities, the pressure to keep up. At the end of the month, the higher earner often has nothing left. Or worse, they're in a deficit. Higher income, lower margin for error. There's another cost that nobody ever talks about. Your time. 6-figure jobs rarely end at 5 p.m. They come with an always-on email culture. Late-night Slack messages. A level of mental stress that never really shuts off. And when you're exhausted and time poor, what do? You spend money to cope, delivery food, convenience services, random subscriptions. You're essentially paying to survive the very job that's supposed to be paying you. Eventually, this lifestyle locks you in. You're wearing golden handcuffs. You can't quit. You can't pivot to a new career. You can't downshift to something less stressful. You've built a six-figure infrastructure around your life, and now you have no choice but to feed the beast. The person earning less but also spending less has freedom. The person earning more but spending more is trapped. This brings us to the most important distinction in all of personal finance. Income is not wealth. Let me say that again. Income is not wealth. Income is how fast you're running. Wealth is how far you've gone. You can run incredibly fast on a treadmill and still go absolutely nowhere. High cash flow with no savings is just financial exhaustion with better branding. So how do you escape the six-figure trap? The solution isn't to earn less. It's to divorce your ego from your income. If you make $100,000, try living like you make $50,000. That gap, that is your freedom. Automate your savings so that every raise you get disappears into your investment account before you even have a chance to see it. Delay the upgrades. Refuse to play the status game. This is the art of stealth wealth. You don't look rich, but you're quietly building real leverage in the background. We need a better definition of success. The real flex isn't the car you drive, it's optionality. It's being able to lose your job and not panic. It's having the power to say no to a toxic boss. It's taking calculated risks without living in fear of failure. That is real wealth. So don't let that six-figure number fool you. In today's world, it's not the finish line, it's the danger zone. Stop chasing salary titles and start chasing net profit in your own life. You are not a conduit for banks and luxury brands to extract money from. You are the CEO of your own finances. It's time to start running your life like a profitable business. This has been the Financial Sketchpad. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.